Well, as we come sliding into the end of the year, I wish everybody a wonderful old year's party and a happy new year. But before we wrap this year up, we're going to dive deep into the mailbag and see what our viewers have for last minute questions before we call an end to 2025. Let me grab Walt and we'll dive right in.
Hey, it's one of my favorite type of episodes today. Walter Stroholt here alongside certified financial planner Steve Smith, and we're talking about listener, viewer questions that we've gotten to the show on the podcast, and can't wait to cover two of these on today's episode and get some direct answers for folks. Steve, where are our hats and our little, what do you call those little kazoos or whatever the thing you blow when it's Happy New Year?
I know. I
We needed to get
had
props.
that, or instead of these things, maybe I could have had that Happy New Year glasses.
Or even better, like the straw glasses that goes up into like a hat with a certain beverage in it or something like that.
Right. That sounds good. I might have to get on Amazon. I don't know if we can get it overnight, but I think we can get it quick.
Yeah, I love it. Do you have any New Year's traditions that you guys are looking forward to, or just kind of whatever the year brings each time?
Not to double up from last week, but we go skiing on New Year's Day, but
okay,
you hit a New Year's Eve party and we try to wrap it up so it's not too late so we can get some first tracks in the morning.
Well, you're in Nevada, right? So are you celebrating, are you kind of taking advantage of the fact that you can do the New York New Year's and call that the New Year and then go to bed at a reasonable time?
We've done that for sure, but we do try to hang close to midnight.
Okay.
Have been known to sneak out, at 11 or so, but no, we do watch the ball drop in New York, once in a while because sometimes it's just a little too much getting all the way to midnight. But I'm showing my age here, Walt. We got to change the topic.
Yeah, the problem is though, I remember reaching that point, and maybe just because I'm lame, but I remember getting to that point in my 20s and being like, I'm done with this staying up till midnight stuff.
Right.
You've seen a few ball drops, you're good, so
for sure.
Yeah,
but it's always a good time with friends and family, and then our immediate family likes to enjoy the slopes. I think we're doing Kirkwood, something different this year.
Okay, very nice. Well, again, like I said last time around, safe skiing as you head back out once more for the New Year's Day festivities. Hope everybody's shaping up for a good end of year and looking forward to 2026. So as we wrap up today's episode and our final episode of the year, we thought it would be fun to end with some listener and some fan questions. So we've got two to cover today, Steve. Here's what's on the mind of a few folks. The first one says, I want to have a lot of fun and do a lot of traveling when I retire. Hey, that sounds good. But to do what I want to do, I'll need to have an income in retirement that's higher than my income while I'm working. Would that be irresponsible? Unique question, because most people are assuming that they're going to be kind of spending less or needing less income in retirement. So this one's I can see why that would spook somebody a little bit.
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas. Now, the first one, the disclaimer is we need to pull up a full financial retirement plan to make sure that we don't run out of money when it gets into our later years, our 70s, 80s, and 90s. So that's my caution.
We're going to have to make a lot of assumptions here.
Right? I have very little go on here, but I like the question and I like the spirit in it because you've worked hard your whole life. Go have some fun. I'm 100% on board for that. We just need to make sure we do it fiscally responsible so we don't end up, on the poverty train at the end, live it up, and then, barely make it later. So that's something to avoid. But when we're doing that, that is very easy to plan for. And that comes down to having enough saved, right? If you're going to spend on the front end of your retirement, then you're going to have to have a little bit bigger nest egg because the earlier we spend it in retirement, the less return we get on it for the rest. So that is something to keep in mind because this actually goes to the spirit that I talk with a lot of pre-retirees on, because I'll give you a sneak peek into my next book. You can order the books I have here, but also the next book is going to have, as a part of it, 3 different stages of retirement. The go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. And the go-go years are the most expensive, right? And then you got the slow go, and then you got the no-go. And occasionally the no-go can, if there's a lot of long-term nursing facilities, but most of the time it actually goes, your expenses go down. So this can be planned for but we may have to work a little bit longer if you haven't, put a lot in early on. But definitely possible. And I would kick that irresponsible out. It's a matter of planning. And it's, can I or can I do it? Now, if you can't do it and you do it, well, of course, the answer would be
and that's
no,
irresponsible. Yeah.
But I would not put that, would it be irresponsible? Feasible is probably better word I would give to this listener. But go for it, man. Hit those go-go years running.
Our last episode was all about asking better questions, right? So this is a great question, but reframe the end of it. Not would that be irresponsible, but would that be feasible? I think that's a perfect reframing of the question that opens you up to that proper planning. Because with a plan, nothing about it's irresponsible, and you'll get your answer on whether it's feasible or not. So great nuance there. Okay. If you've got similar questions, you can leave a comment if you're watching our episodes on YouTube, and we'll try to take a look at those comments and maybe make a new episode out of your questions. You can always talk to Steve directly as well. Some people don't prefer to have the public conversation about their questions. Totally fine. Reach out to Steve. You can have a one-on-one chat about what's going on, what's on your mind, maybe what kind of planning can be done to fix or address any issues you're facing. Link in the description of today's show if you want to interact that way and schedule a time to visit. All right, Steve, last question of 2025. I feel like I need to get some professional help with my retirement savings. Well, you're in the right place, question asker. But I also don't want somebody to tell me that I need to roll every dollar into my 401k or that's in my 401k over to some product that's for sale. Is that just how having a financial advisor works? Sounds like this person may have had a prior experience with an advisor that maybe left a bit of a sour taste in their mouths.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's a story behind that. I would want to unpack that with them if they were in person. But I understand. So let's take a look at this piece by piece. Okay, there was a few tells in this. They did see some value, so they're asking the question: should I get some professional help? And I would say if you don't have the time and inclination, and you have somebody that you can rely on that will make sure you stay honest with yourself, you could do that yourself. But it's much easier to engage with somebody who does this all day, every day, and has gone through formal education to do what they do. So I would highly encourage that. And reflecting to somebody wanting to roll it over or roll it out into a product, that's the tell right there. I would caution you highly if somebody is selling you a product that you need to roll out of to buy. It may be the perfect thing. Don't get me wrong, but I would caution it. I would say it's probably not the right thing to do. If you find a professional that says, "Hey, let's do a plan and let's figure out what when you're going to retire." How we're going to do all of this. And then we put a plan of like, okay, the husband or the spouse or the wife or whatever is going to retire at this time. And we're going to roll this out at this time and fund this. And Social Security is going to turn on here. If that's the conversation, just generally speaking, I think you're on the right track. So I would actually go back to a previous episode on asking good questions to make sure you're with an advisor that's going to help make your future better and not reward their wallet.
Yeah, great. Since you brought up that prior episode twice today, or I brought up once and you brought it up as well, folks, definitely go check that one out. It was one of our favorite episodes that we've done, one of our longer ones, so prepare yourself for that, but definitely go check it out. It's we're going to link to it in the description. It's just our prior episode, so you can probably spot it easy, but it's all about asking better financial questions, and I think there's a lot to learn from that one, so go check it out if you'd like to engage a little bit further on that kind of concept and thinking. But another good question here from one of the show fans, and we appreciate you. I agree with you, Steve. There's a story there where they got that good advice, like they were seeing, okay, well, this makes sense, but the solution rubbed them the wrong way because it may have sounded then too simple to just throw it all into one product, which is probably a good red flag to spot, certainly. But but I'd like to hear that full story. So if you're watching the person who asked this question, reach out to Steve, give him the full story, and he can give you the best guidance possible in that way. Again, click the link in the description of today's show if you'd like to set up a time to visit with Steve and the team. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us, not only on today's episode, but if you've been a longtime listener this year. Hope everyone had a great 2025, and Happy New Year to you all. And of course, to you, Steve. Stay safe as you go skiing again.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see you next. We're going to be in 2026.
Can't wait. See everybody then. Until next time, we'll see you on Power Your Retirement. This podcast is provided by Powerhouse Financial Advisors, an independent firm with advisory services offered through Parson X Advisory Services, Inc., PAS, a federally registered investment advisor. The information provided is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered as personalized investment advice. PAS does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or suitability of this information for your specific circumstances. Investment decisions should be based on an individual's goals, time horizon, and risk tolerance. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and all investments carry a degree of risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any case studies, testimonials, or endorsements shared in this podcast are illustrative of individual experiences and may not be representative of the experience of all clients. They do not guarantee future performance or success. You should not infer any level of assurance regarding future financial outcomes. Listeners should consult with a qualified financial, tax, or legal professional before making any investment decisions. Parson X Advisory Services, Inc. does not provide tax or legal advice. Be sure to consult with your tax and legal professionals regarding your specific circumstances. For a copy of our Form ADV Part 2A, which provides additional information about PAS, including our advisory fees and services, please visit powerhousefinancialadvisors.com.